Welcome back to my channel. It's Friday afternoon. I just finished work. I thought yesterday all day was Friday, so today it's a bonus day. It's a bonus day that I didn't ask for. So anyway, updates. I am still not finished with The Shadow in the Glass. It's slow going. I don't hate it. I don't know. I'm still not sure. I haven't decided to DNF it. I'm just actively not reading it right now. So I finished Salvation of a Saint in my last update, and so after that I queued up 2 new books. I'm going to be doing the ebook version of Days of Distraction, which just sounds perfect for me based on the title. And I'm going to be doing an audiobook of Buried Giants. I don't remember the author of either of those. I don't remember the plot either. But it doesn't matter because they were on my wish list. So at some point I read the description and then put them on my wish list. So I must want to read them, right? This is the logic that I'm going with. And the reason that I chose these is because they were available. I have my brain, it's Friday afternoon, you guys. I just can't. Libby, Days of Distraction. They didn't have an audiobook of it, but they did have an ebook that I can read in my Kindle app on my phone, which is not my preferred reading app, but it's not bad, it's not terrible. So I'll be reading Days of Distraction on my Kindle app on my phone. And then they did have an audiobook copy available of Buried Giants. And that's the other reason that I chose both of them, is because they were both available in Libby at the same time. Now I'm trying to use Audible. I don't know how I feel about Audible. I have a 3-month thing. Oh, for the love of grapes. Trial. I have a 3-month trial of Audible. But I didn't really understand how it worked until I actually got in there and was trying to use it. I might talk about that either in a specific video or just later, because like I have 0 brain function right now, as you can tell. But it's not exactly what I thought it was gonna be, and that's probably, you know what, it's at least 50% on me, but I'm not gonna say it's 100% on me, because I think Audible intentionally advertises a certain way, and I don't necessarily think that's the experience that they're intending to give you. But anyway, I don't have an opinion on Audible yet, but I just also did not have access to a lot of books on Audible that this would work with like having something right now. Because I have a 3-month trial, I'm gonna get 3 credits, but I'm only gonna get 1 credit a month. I used my first credit, like I think I said in a previous video, on The Count of Monte Cristo. You know, so I won't have another credit, I think, until August 31st. Does August have 31 days? January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August. It does have 31 days. August 31st, I will have another credit available. I think I'm gonna have analysis paralysis on what to get with my Audible credits though, because I didn't quite realize it was a 1 credit a month deal for most of the books that I ended up wanting. And it's like, I don't know if I want to keep this book, because what if I don't like this book? Then I've wasted a credit. I own an audiobook I'm never going to want to listen to again. I don't know, it's stressing me out a little bit, but that's okay, because, you know, it's a free trial. Like, it shouldn't stress me out at all. Yeah, so it is almost 5 p.m. I need to go to the store to get some stuff, and I need some brain rest. I have a feeling I am not going to be doing any reading for the next maybe 24 hours. I need to play some video games. I need some time for my video games. I miss my games. I have not played very long, or in a while, and they're my de-stressor. I think probably more so than books, because books are they're just books. They're just always there. To actively de-stress though, there's something about video games and the way that my brain processes that is more of a de-stressor. Books are just, I don't know how to describe it. It's not a bad thing. It's just, they don't necessarily make me less stressed, because books can stress me out, especially if what I'm reading is like a stressful book. But even a stressful video game relaxes me. Does that make any sense? It makes sense to me. But I'm also told that I'm very, very weird. So I don't know if that's going to make sense to anybody else. But you know what? It's okay. It's okay to be weird and to just have weird things in your brain that nobody else understands. I feel like that's fine. It's your brain. Enjoy it. Okay, so I'm gonna get going because I gotta go to the store and just get stuff and then come back and probably sleep. I'm so tired. I'm so very, very tired. I think last night, I'm usually a night owl ever since I was a little kid, but last night I think I fell asleep at like 9 or 9:30, which is so out of character for me. And I'm still exhausted. So I'm gonna get done what I have to get done. I'm gonna try to get some sleep so that hopefully tomorrow I can at least function halfway human instead of just 100%, zombie like I've been. That's all I've got today. As soon as I've got any reading updates though, I will check in with you guys. Until then, I'll see you around. So I'm back with a final update on The Shadow in the Glass. I just finished it. I feel like this book had so much potential that completely escaped it. There were plot points that I was positive the story was building to, especially about her past, and some tie-ins that would make things make more sense and be way more interesting. And then it ended and didn't touch on any of them. So I am honestly a little confused. If it feels like the author intended to give a lot more depth to the young years of the main character, Eleanor, and then just didn't. And it felt really, really weird because it felt like she was leaving breadcrumbs along the way, and she kept mentioning and pointing out certain things, and then nothing ever came of it. And I don't know, I just thought it was really strange. This did not feel like a Cinderella retelling either. It definitely felt like a fairy tale, but Cinderella was not the fairy tale. This felt far more like finding a lamp with a genie and a be careful what you wish for sort of a thing. And granted, that was on the back of the book and on the front cover, you know, be careful what you wish for. But it felt more like a genie story, because I believe genies are sort of notorious for twisting, or maybe fairies are notorious for twisting the wording or the meaning of a wish instead of giving you what you intended. And when you think about the story of Cinderella, she didn't really get wishes, you know? She had a fairy godmother appear, and she was granted, like, maybe technically a wish to go to a ball. Okay. And that's it. This was, I just, at the very, very, very end, like literally the last few pages, you finally got the imagery of Cinderella. Beyond that, it felt so different that I would say I would not feel that this would be classified as a retelling of Cinderella, but just a modern day fairy tale, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, final thoughts. The entire time you were reading it, it felt like you were waiting. You were waiting, you were waiting, you were waiting, you were waiting. And then you get into the last 30 pages of the book and you're like, okay, I feel like we're done waiting. Like, we're on our way now. We're approaching, you know, the story, the main crescendo. And then you get there and you're like, okay, I guess. I wouldn't say it's a terrible ending by any means. And considering what you were getting in the story along the way, it wasn't all that surprising. It wasn't even all that disappointing. It kind of felt a little flat. I think that's what it is. I think to me, the whole book felt a little flat. I think there was definitely potential to, if the author took it now and took those breadcrumbs that had been laid throughout it and reworked it a little bit and dove into those breadcrumbs, I feel like it would be a much better, more engaging, more intriguing story, that there would be actual plot twists that you didn't see coming, or if you did see coming, to have them fleshed out would be very satisfying for a reader. Then I think it would be a good book. As it is, I feel like it was just very disappointing. Not bad per se, but disappointing. So I'll probably talk about it in my wrap up, and to a level of maybe some spoilers, but if I do have spoilers in my wrap up, I'm going to try to have timestamps in case people want to skip it, because some people are not bothered by spoilers. Sometimes they want that to know if they really want to read the book or not. And other people just don't want spoilers, and so they can skip ahead. But for now, I really think that's all I'm going to say. I would say probably it's not quite 3 stars, maybe 2.75. I feel like the potential of the book is between a 3 to a 4 star. I just think the execution of it's at a 2.75. I don't think it really got to a 3. The fact that I couldn't decide the entire time if I was going to DNF it or not, I just flat out, there's no way I can give it a 3 if I kept thinking about DNFing it the whole way through. But it wasn't terrible. It's not like a 1. It's not even necessarily just a flat 2, but definitely disappointing. I have not had a chance to start either of the 2 other books that I had mentioned, Buried Giants and Days of Distraction. So I'm going to be working on those as soon as I can. And yeah, I'm just trying to find scraps of time. It's hard to find time to read. One of the 2 is an audiobook, so I'm happy about that, because I think I'll probably make some progress on Buried Giants then because of that. But But as soon as I have anything interesting, whether it be reading, whether it be, I don't know, cool stuff that I can do, which is there's probably not that much because I have a pretty boring life. I have a 9 to 5, 40-hour-a-week job. And then I sleep a lot after that because I'm just so tired. I'm going to be trying to play some video games soon, more so than I've had a chance to play. So I might even do some, I'm going to call it Let's Play, but like I don't have a computer with, you know, the video game hookup. I don't have a video capture card to be able to record it. I mean, it's going to have to be like my phone camera placed either looking like maybe over my shoulder to the TV to what I'm playing or something, because I don't have any kind of equipment. I don't have any kind of setup. I just want to play. And my gaming choice is I have a Nintendo Switch. I am primarily a Nintendo person. I do have a PlayStation 4, and I basically bought that for 2 reasons. Kingdom Hearts, and it was a Blu-ray player. So those are my... I have a few other games on my PlayStation, but PlayStation does not have a huge library of games that interests me. I've never owned an Xbox. I've held an Xbox controller once, and it was the weirdest feeling controller ever, and I don't even remember which Xbox it was. I could not get used to the controller, and I gave up on the game that I was playing at a friend's house because the controller just felt so bizarre to me. I couldn't get used to it, and I knew that I didn't have enough time that day to play it long enough to get used to it, and I'm like, that just means that the entire time I'm going to attempt to play it, it's going to be frustrating. So I don't have that. I've never wanted an Xbox. So yeah, pretty much Nintendo consoles and games are my biggest thing. I love Zelda. It's my absolute favorite video game series. Breath of the Wild is my favorite game of all time. Followed by just Zelda games. And then after all the Zelda games, you know, you start getting other games. But I love the Mario games. I love Mario Kart. My mom and I still play Mario Kart Double Dash. And my mom's really good at it. And that just, I don't know. I just love being able to play Mario Kart Double Dash with my mom. So yeah, I've been trying to find games in the Nintendo library on the eShop that are more indie titles and stuff, because I'd sort of run out of first-party titles to play that I thought might be super interesting. And I've seen a lot of games getting ported to the Nintendo Switch. Even though they're older games, I don't have a problem playing older games, especially if I've not had a chance to play them prior because they were on PC or they were on PlayStation and I didn't have them at the time, or I didn't know about them at the time. So I'm gonna be probably skimming through the eShop to find some new games because I just need something. I mean, Breath of the Wild is always kind of my go-to. I will just turn it on and drop Link somewhere because the entire game is gorgeous, but I'll drop him somewhere and just leave it running because 1, it's a gorgeous scene, or 2, the music and the sound effects in it are just stunning and they're so calming, and I can just let him sit there all day and listen to it. I just love it. So that's definitely a go-to for me. But yeah, I don't know. Once I kind of figure out what I want to do, what I want to play, I will probably talk a little bit about it in my vlog because video games do make up a huge portion of my passions and my hobbies. It's basically video games, books, and cooking. Those are really the 3 biggest things I enjoy. And I know that I dedicate most of my time right now on this channel to books and stories because that's the reason I wanted to start it, because I've been so inspired by so many booktubers. But so much of the time that I spend on YouTube is also on video game channels. And I don't necessarily want to split this channel. I think this is going to be really a booktube channel, but also I figure with my vlogs, you know, that's more of just what I do day to day and just kind of my day-to-day life, and video games are a big part of that. So I'm going to try to get some some decent game footage. I know that recording a TV with a camera doesn't always go well. It doesn't always look good, but I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to try my best. And I don't know. I know I like watching Let's Plays. I love watching people play games, and I love playing games. So maybe there's going to be people on the channels or, you know, who come across the videos who like the same thing. And I think video games are just another way to tell stories. And I think they're a very effective storytelling tool because, you know, you get to be part of it in a way that you can't with other mediums. So before I go on like an hour-long tangent about how I feel video games are, you know, an amazing storytelling tool, I will probably just let you guys go, and I will follow up with another update later.